Introduce. Hi there, Erin Lee here of Heavenly of heavenlymessenger.com, bringing you this week's special Tune In and Tune Up Thursday. I am here with the very excited Bobbi Rowntree. She is a born medium, and she has agreed to join us this evening. So, Bobbi, hello.
Hi. Sorry, I was reading. I'm new.
So yes, that's the other thing, is this is Bobbi's first time doing a live stream. So thank you for your patience. And we just have a question. I see we've got a couple of people on. We have Ange and Jamie. Hi, thank you for joining us. Can you guys tell us if you've got a bit of an echo that you're hearing? It's going to take a minute for the messages to come through. There's a bit of a delay. So
I don't know who to answer. There's so many people talking.
I know. This is going to be a lot of fun.
I'm sorry.
So if you've been following my Tune In and Tune Up Thursdays for the last several months, you will know that I have been saying no mediumship readings because it's not my forte. Well, it just so happens that my good friend Bobbi here is a born medium. Bobbi, can you tell us a little bit about what that means?
Oh my gosh. Okie dokie. So being a born medium means that I was born this way. I have always heard voices and spoken to the dead. I'm not quite sure what else to say. It's been my whole life.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, I'm holding on.
Second. So I've got Carrie here. Jenna's saying no echo for Margaret, a little bit of an echo for Anne. Carrie's saying no volume. So it sounds like,
am I no volume?
I don't know. Just very slight. Hi guys. Sorry. I don't know about you, but I've had technical difficulties all week this week.
It's been a weird week. Oh, I can hear me.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to give it a try, and our fingers are crossed. Oh, Tanya's saying she can hear us both, and Tammy is also saying good. Okay, so we're just going to go with it, and apologies for any challenges. So
yes,
you were telling us a little bit about being a born medium, and it sounded like you were finished.
Yes, and actually because Ange, how do I say? Okay, your mom about moving up north. She thinks it's a good idea, and actually you're supposed to be there or something. There's something about being up in the nature. There's something about being up that way. And now from your mommy, I'm not sure about the love life thing, but there's so many things to read.
So what you do, just focus on looking at yourself in the camera. Okay. I know it's a little bit weird, and we will.
And your love life will soon follow, I promise. That's what they say. I'm sorry I said I promise. God. Oh, look at me. I promise. But yeah, because when you're happier, that's when things start happening for you. But not it. Get your bum up there. I don't know if you're from there or you're supposed to be there, but you're supposed to be up there, apparently.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Awesome. So we just jumped into reading.
I do apologize. This is what I'm sorry. I have no control over myself.
No worries. No worries. I'm a little more structured. So before we hop into the next one, I'm just going to do a quick shout out and a welcome and a thank you to everybody who's joined us. So Ange and Jamie and Diane and Tamara and Jenna, hello. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. We have Karine and Margaret and Tanya and Anne and Carrie. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. We have Brianne, sorry, I didn't initially realize how to pronounce your name. Brianne, hello. Mary Lynn, Tammy and Tanya and Yvonne, hello. It's wonderful to see you all this evening. Marissa, Paula, I think that some of them skipped over Susan and Stefania and Stacy. Hello, it's wonderful to see all of you guys tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. So for me, when I do readings on the show, I ask for specific questions. So for me, more than just love life, say, what's going on with my boyfriend or my partner, because we only have a couple of minutes with each person, and I want to give you as much as possible. How about for you, Bobbi? What are you asking for from people?
I would have to agree with that. Yeah. Very specific, even yes or no questions or something like that. But with connections with the other side, it's a little bit more complicated, but they can quickly tell you something very, very, very easily.
Absolutely.
Especially if they're right there beside you.
So how are you open to people saying who's around me, or do you want them to ask about somebody in specific? Somebody specific,
most likely. Yeah.
All right.
Because you know your mother or your grandmother's going to come in through over everybody else, because that's what ladies do.
Yeah, that's absolutely
Especially
right.
the dead ones.
So ask for somebody specific that you want to connect with. Yeah. So what do you think? Should we jump in?
Yeah, so we already did. That's what I have a tendency to do.
We were really busy figuring out like the technical stuff before we got started this evening.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've noticed, but we actually tend to get a little together.
That's right. That's right. So, you know, we are very serious here. So thank you for joining us for a very serious special Tune In.
That's my
Thursday.
service.
All right. So what I'm going to invite you to do, usually I just kind of go down, but because there are two of us to go back and forth, if you want to scroll through the comments and see if there's somebody that you're connecting with that you want to like, yep, let's see what's going on, then I'm going to invite you to do that.
Can you address the curse?
Yeah.
No.
That's exactly
You're
what I
not
was going
cursed.
to.
Oh, golly sakes.
Yeah.
I hear stuff like that. I had a client once message me because she was in Vegas because some woman came up to her and said, if you give me $1,000, I'll lift this curse off of you, and said some very general things that kind of landed a little bit. And my client messaged me losing her poop. She said, do I pay her $1,000? I said, don't you dare.
No. Yeah.
Good golly, Miss Molly. You're not cursed.
Absolutely.
The only person who could curse you is you. And that's just you thinking bad things and then allowing bad things to happen.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I was going to say, so we're connecting with Jamie. Jamie's question is, I had a reading today. The person says, I'm cursed. I'm hoping for clarity on romance and relationship for me. Okay, so I want to take a look at that too. Okay. So some of the work that I've been doing recently, it's called Body Code, and it's a form of energy healing. And we do deal with curses. So it is possible to have an energy that you've absorbed, that you've picked up, and it can have an impact on romance and relationship and love life. However, if somebody's asking you $1,000, who's just kind of randomly walked up to you, absolutely not. I wouldn't do that.
No real good psychic would do that.
No.
They'd give you the advice for free.
Yeah, absolutely. Or if it comes up in a session, then your practitioner should have a way of releasing that. So it is possible. But when I tap in and when I check in with you, Jamie, I'm not feeling that coming up so much. When I ask about romance and relationship, it feels to me like we need to clear something out. Like there's something that's being held on, like something that's old, and I'm feeling the need to just get rid of that, to clear that out, because it doesn't serve you anymore.
Yeah, it might be garbage canning.
Yeah,
I see they show women actually reaching down into the bottom of the garbage can to find a fella.
Ooh,
and that they can see that.
Yeah.
And it has something, I think a lot of women do it because they want to help the guy, and if I just understood him, and if I just did this and things, let him do that for you. Don't you do that for him. Yeah, or look across the room when you pick your mate.
That's right. Let him do that for himself even.
Yeah. He has to do that for himself, because you know what? If you do that, if you pick a man like that, or if you pick a human being like that to be in your life, you will most likely always have that part of your relationship be part of your life. Yeah. That was poorly said, but yeah, okay. It becomes a pattern.
Absolutely.
There we go. It becomes a pattern.
Absolutely. And Jamie, I've just picked a card for you. We have the Desiree card. This is the messages from your angels. No, conditions aren't favorable right now. Wait or look into other options and ask the angels to help guide and comfort you. So when this card comes up for me, it says that there's something that isn't syncing properly with where you need to be, with what you're needing. And so it's kind of, it's like a break. It's not no forever. It's just right now, it's not a good time. There's something either that you don't know. So if you're currently in a relationship or you're looking for a relationship and partnership, now is the time to be focusing on you and less on
them.
Yeah. Or finding them. So there's more that's going on here, but I'm not feeling a curse coming up around you. So possibly that's already been released and removed for you, but
and you can feel like you're cursed. Like, I always pick the worst guys, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And that's part of the garbage canning.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you find that you pick the same mates over and over again, or you end up in the same types of patterns and relationships, take a look and see what's happening for you.
Inside of you.
What do you need to work on.
We're not blaming you.
Nope, not at all.
We still love you.
That's right.
We do this as ladies.
Awesome. Jamie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Jamie.
Sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. All right, where are we going next?
I kind of want to go down.
You want to go down?
Okay. Missing people.
No.
Do you do that? I don't
right,
know what you should. This is my first time.
We're right at the very beginning. So yeah. So we've got Diane here. Hi, Diane. Thanks for joining us. Diane says, wondering if my mom wants to connect with me.
Yeah, and of course she does.
Yeah.
Yes. And actually, apparently she does all the time, especially in your kitchen. I don't know if your window, they always show people washing dishes in their sink when they want to show when they are getting in touch with you in your kitchen. They do the same thing when we're getting ready in the day. They'll show people in front of their mirror in their room, because it's a time in your day when you are focused on you, where you're not thinking about other things. Your brain is focused on the task that you're in. So all the other stuff is hollow, so they can get in there and chat. That's why we meditate to hear the dead. Because we have so much dialogue going on in our heads, we don't always realize it's them. I'm kind of lucky I can tell when it's somebody else and when it's me. Kind of. Yeah. But there's so many people talking.
Yeah. And I often get people who get visitations at night, like in their dream time, that interrupts them. Yeah. And I've always found that that's been a message that you aren't taking enough time out of the day to meditate, to connect with them. And this is the only time that they can. Yeah.
It's the time when your mind is shut up.
Yeah.
And then your spirit can move around and actually tell you the things you need to know. And with you, Diane, what I see, I don't know if there's a hummingbird or something else that hangs in the window, or maybe a bird comes and says hello to you in some way, but it's creepy. Sorry. Your mom's standing behind you. That's what it looks. I'm sorry. But she means that in a loving and good way. And apparently it's okay. I don't know if there was some sort of miscommunication just before her passing, or you weren't there just before she passed, or that possibly she wasn't of her sound mind when she passed, but it's okay. She's okay. It's okay. They never remember that part. People always worry about that. And they're like, what? My passing? No, that was a tiny part of my life and my relationship with you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I hope that helps, Diane.
Awesome. Diane, thank you so much for joining us, for sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome.
Hello, Tamara.
All right, we've got Tamara. Hi, Tamara. And we've got Jenna. Hi. And Corinne, she's saying hi to both of us. And Margaret, hello. And Tanya, hello. Let me see. Yes, echo, no echo, no echo. Sorry, guys, I'm not sure how to fix that. I know that's from our...
A little bit. We'd love a message from my son.
Yeah, so we've got Corinne on here. Hi, Corinne. Thanks so much for joining us. Corinne's asking for a message from her son.
Yeah, and I would assume, just from what I see immediately, that your son was far too young to go. And I actually even hear far too young to go. When someone is far too young to go, I actually see a skateboard. Because the first young person I ever had come through passed on a skateboard.
Oh.
So those sorts of things, it's like the dead know. What do they do? I don't know how they know. It's like they have like a little sheet that says, okay, this medium today is Bobbi. Bobbi has this, and this symbol, so you must do this. That's what it always seems like to me. Because if I talk to another medium, I'm like, that's your symbol? Yeah. So, apologies, Corinne. I don't know if it's Corinne or Corinne, and if I say your name incorrectly, please excuse it. Please excuse. Okay.
Yes, it's all good. It's all good.
I actually hear that there's an uncle with him that might actually be your brother, or there's a brother of some sort, and he's okay, and that a message is left for you daily. There's something going on in your garage, quite possibly when you go out to your car, or where you go to leave, or where the recycling is or something. In my head, your garage looks super clean. I don't know if it is, but it does. And because if it's not your garage, it's what in my brain would become a garage. Gosh, I hope that makes sense. It's so hard to actually say these things without any sort of confirmation from the person.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So he is talking to you. I actually hear pay attention. Sometimes they'll swear to show their personality or to show an inflection, but they do swear, because if they swore when they were here, they swear, I don't know. So there's something stacked on top of something. I wish I could figure out what the heck it is. It almost looks like sports equipment. I don't know if he's left some stuff in your house. Yeah, I actually think this might be too much.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's too much
for you.
Yeah,
yeah. He has to be careful the way he speaks to you. And I'm supposed to say that with all the love I can give and pay attention to around you, especially songs you're hearing, songs you might actually hate. I don't know if your son was into gangster rap. My son's into gangster rap. So if I heard Biggie Smalls, I would know it's him talking to me. That's what I'm seeing right now. I hope that helps. I'm going to start with, I hope that helps. And that means I'm my guy. That's all I can say.
Oh, Karine, it's always a pleasure connecting with you. Thank you. I appreciate that you hopped on this evening. We're sending big hugs, love, and lots of support. And it sounds like there's lots of love, hugs, and support that's coming to you from the other side. And that there's a lot of energy that's coming down to you to connect with you. So, could we also say that to really trust when you feel that he's around? I know that that's something that I often deal with my clients as well, is, I've been receiving these thoughts and these ideas, and I just don't know if this is the person who's crossed over, but it sounds like he's working really hard to make sure that you're recognizing that he's trying to connect with you. So would you say that, Bobbi?
Yeah, and the brother. All I can hear is brother in my head. So I don't know if you have another son and that your son is connecting more with your other son, or if it's your brother on the other side. There's something about a brother, and he won't stop yelling next. He really wants you to know he's with you. I don't think I did a sufficient job for his liking. I don't, because you're not sitting in front of me either. So the way he is making me feel, I wish I could be near you. Yeah. So that I could lend you, I can't lend you physical support. Corona. I say Corona instead of COVID. Sorry. But
Yeah. So we're sending lots of love, hugs, and support. This is coming from your son. This is coming from Bobbi and I. And for anybody else who's joining us now, send a bit of love to Karine too. Awesome.
Yeah. Sending love and support would be odd for him, I think. Yeah. It'd be an odd way of him putting it.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah. Awesome. So before we go on to the next person, one of the things that you were talking about really kind of stuck out at me. And you were saying that there are different ways that spirit, kind of like a dictionary, like a pictorial dictionary. Yeah. That they use to let you know who it is and what the message is. One of the questions that I get a lot from people is, how are my loved ones showing me that they're around? Do you have anything that often people can see?
Oh, yeah, the basics.
Time? Yeah, what are the basics?
The basics, for you? Dimes. Everyone knows about the dimes. And not everyone leaves dimes either. It's generic to leave dimes, but some of them, like my dad, leaves pennies. And we get quarters every now and again. And my daughter has asked for toonies, and she's receiving them. Not very often, but she receives them. Like, it's really bizarre.
Is that inflation? Like spirit?
Yes.
Spirit inflation?
She's a greedy child. There's that. So, she knows who she is. Anyway, birds. They use birds. They use music. My dad uses music a ton. I know when he's around because I hear Jim Croce. I hear Billy Joel. I hear Bruce Springsteen every now and again, but not quite as much. Yeah, but that is a way of identifying. Oh my God, the Beatles, my dad. Yeah, that sort of idea. And listen to what's being said in the song, because they'll repeat it too. My dad will repeat a song in my head a lot. Like when I first started my YouTube channel. Yep, Jet. Yeah, Jet. Like Suffragette. Oh, Jet. That's all I heard in my head all the time. Suffragette. And I think it was because he was trying to tell me be powerful. Rise to the sky. Because I looked up the song and Paul McCartney was like, yeah, there's no real meaning, nothing behind it. So yeah. So it's signs like birds, it's dimes, it's songs in your head, and it's that feeling in your heart. That's the biggest one. Yeah. When you walk, I had that feeling in my heart this week. Yeah. Holy cow. It is because they reach into your chest. They come up in here, right up where your bra comes, and and they grab a hold of your heart and remind you of how they feel about you. And then suddenly you go, oh my God, I miss them so much. Oh my God. And then you get in your feels and you get overwhelmed. And then most of the time, what we'll do is just think, oh, I just miss them. I'm mourning. Yeah. We don't realize they're in the room. Yeah. And that's why you had that moment, because they're standing right there. And you can say to them, don't do that to me. When you come in the room, make me feel good. Make me feel elated. You can tell them what to do when they want you to. They need you to.
And I think that's actually a really great distinction, because I know one of the things for me when I started learning to open up to deceased loved ones is as soon as you start opening up, everybody wants to connect, right? Mm-hmm. And boundaries are really important. You are not passive in the experience, right?
Yeah, I used to let people make me feel how they died.
Yeah. Oh. Wow.
Yeah, because I was so nervous about not being authentic.
Yeah.
Because of all the deaths I'd been through, I could not put someone through a fake reading. I couldn't. I couldn't do it. So I would say, first, show me how you died so I can tell them. And my God.
Yeah, that is intense.
You don't want a heart attack. You don't want a stroke. That was awful.
No.
Hanging.
Mm-hmm.
Thought my eyes were on fire.
Mm-hmm.
It was awful. Yeah. So you
so know that you are not passive.
You're not passive
in receiving messages from your loved ones, in receiving messages from God, source, universe, whatever your belief system is, intuitions and stuff. You have a lot of control, and you have a lot of say.
Yeah, and your dead have the control over you and can talk to you like everybody's dead can talk to me.
Right.
Everybody can talk to their dead. Yeah, because you have that connection. It's just most of the time you don't know yet. You do.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, let's just take a look here. Let me see. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a better method for next time. So we've got Tamara here. Hi, Tamara. Thanks for joining us. Tamara would love a message from her mom if possible. So
I just heard, and she's gonna get one too. That's hilarious. I don't know what your mom's like. I'm sure she's lovely and wonderful. But I immediately see a mailbox with her. I don't know if she actually was maybe a postal worker. Would that be cool?
That would be an awesome confirmation.
Sure you know it's her, not just me saying, hey, your mom loves you. She's with you all the time. Because anybody could say that to you, and I don't want to say that. Anyway, so there's something about your feet and your shoes. I don't know if you're walking in her shoes or something about your feet, but she's showing me something about your feet. I have no idea if that has like some sort of validity to you, but I have to tell you what she shows me. They also, now, I think it's because we were talking about passing and how people pass. I don't know if your mother passed from her heart or breast cancer or something here. She does this, and then she does this, and then she looks at her shoes. I'm not sure why she's doing that, but that is what she's doing. It could be as simple as you bought new shoes and she actually directed you to do so. It could be that. But your shoes are red. And it might very well be that your mom wants you to ground in order to be able to hear her. It's weird. It's weird with you. It's weird. Do you
lots of different, there's a
ton of stuff. It's not just your mom.
Yeah.
There's lots. Buckets. I actually have buckets of people. I don't know how many people you have on the other side, or if your mom's passing was so recent that she's having to come in with a helper, which is possible as well, or that she is bringing someone in to show you, hey, look who I found here. And she says, you wouldn't believe it. You want to see it. You can't believe what I can see. And she says, I can see you. I don't know if you have a daughter, but she's showing a smaller version of you. I don't know if what she's trying to show is that she's able to revisit when you were a little kid, or that she's showing that she can see you and she can see your little person. Her heart. When she says her heart goes out to you, it's that you own her heart. You have her heart. She also, I think you hear things every day. I think you feel her constantly. And I actually think there's some maybe weird stuff happening with you, quite possibly, that you are receiving a little bit more. I don't know if your morning's getting so high that you're actually opening yourself up, or you're already an open person and you knew this already. But when you're getting ready, when you hear those little things in your head, when you hear, don't wear that with that, wear this with that, it actually very well might be your mother talking to you.
Awesome. Beautiful. Fabulous. Tamara, I'm so grateful that you joined us this evening. Thank you so much for popping on. And grateful for your mom popping through too. As Bobbi was talking, do you mind if I share what kind of popped in for me as you were talking?
Of course not. Gosh, no.
There was a lot that was coming up around heart as well. And it really triggered for me when you were talking about walking in her shoes. And so, possibly something that you're feeling or experiencing in your heart and emotions, where you're walking in her shoes or you're learning from how she walked or something kind of along those lines. And I loved the grounding.
A bunch of psychic stuff.
Yeah.
Bunch of psychic stuff. It's not just the loss of your mother, but she's part of the journey that you're on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my father is for me, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
That's the way I kind of see it.
Yeah. I got goosebumps with that one. That one's a really powerful one.
Yeah. Because my father stands behind me and beats the crap out of the bad people that try to get in my head. And when he can't get him, his mommy gets him.
That's awesome. With her rolling pin? Sorry.
She poor lady. Yeah. She had power she didn't know she had.
Awesome. Tamara, I'm so glad that you joined us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I don't know if I've thanked people. I'm sorry. I'm in a whirl.
It's all good. It's all good. I'll hold the stage while you.
Yeah.
You just do the reading, lady.
Okay. You be in charge. That works for me.
All right. Okay. We've talked with Ange. Let me see. Where are we going? Yvonne, that's such a lovely message. Yvonne said, doesn't matter if sound isn't perfect. You are both perfect. We love you, Yvonne. Thank you. All right. So we've got Tracy here. Hi, Tracy. Thanks for joining us. Tracy's saying, wanting to connect with my granny, Alice. I'm just struggling and would love some communication from her.
I don't know if they should. You should have put a bunch of stuff in a burlap sack. I know that's weird. It's just a little sack. I don't know if your granny Alice used to make things with you. It almost looks like stuff that she has taught you are doing. But, golly sakes. I don't know if you're getting an education right now, but there's something about you learning, and she is learning with you. And she wants you to know it's okay. I'm fine. She says, stop worrying about me. I don't know if she was buried, but she's flashing me back to, I had a friend, he killed himself on Valentine's Day, and it was in the interior. So it was snowy and cold. And when they lowered him into the ground, I thought he was going to be so cold. I was so upset that he was going to be cold. And she's showing that with you. She's showing that you might be focusing on what the physical body is feeling rather than the elation that she might be feeling. And she may actually have had pain, fibromyalgia kind of pain. She actually shows herself on fire. So being sad for her to be able to do this is mean of you. Sorry. She said it. I didn't. No, I did. I said it, but she said it first in my head, and then I said it to you. So she's actually poking you in the face, which I actually think she's done in your dreams. She is in your dreams, and I actually think you might still be having the chase you dreams, or you have experienced the chase you dreams. Do you know what I mean by the chase you dreams? Mm-hmm. The dead, especially when they're new, we chase them. I chased my father for a full year. Or he'd be on the other side of a window and I wouldn't be able to communicate with him. And it freaked me out because he actually was in his physical state. I'm seeing all those things with you. So to me, that might mean that, without any confirmation whatsoever, something weird. It is weird. That this is actually something that's going on inside of your head or is somewhat parallel for you. She also shows you going, like you can hear something. So if you do, even if you don't know for certain it's Auntie Alice, just say, hello. And then it'll strengthen her a little bit more. Because the more we acknowledge it, the stronger they get.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she does want to talk to you. It's a paper bag. What the heck is that? Is paper bag burlap sack? It looks like a paper bag now.
Interesting.
Tracy might know. Hopefully you know.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the challenging parts about doing readings like this, because when we've got somebody sitting across from us, there's a lot of conversation that we can have to help really understand the messages that are coming in, because we're acting as interpreters, right? And there is a certain amount that we have awareness of because we've done it for so long and we've got that language we've built up and established with them, and we can get pretty good at that.
Yes.
But it really does add another element to be able to connect and to communicate with you directly and say, yeah, does this make sense? You're like, no, this makes no sense whatsoever, which can actually be helpful in identifying what the message is.
Yes, because it's not that the message is incorrect, it's that I've communicated it incorrectly. That because I know what I'm hearing is right and true, it's just whether or not it comes out the bouche correctly. And also, what the heck was I going to say? I've lost it. Didn't matter, apparently.
They'll poke you in the face with it in a minute.
Tracy, supposed to say I love you. Just not for me. But I would if I knew you. But maybe. I don't know.
Tracy,
but she says that she loves you. Yeah. So much. And keep going. Whatever it is you guys are doing, do it. I don't know what it was.
Love it. And I also kind of heard encouragement for schooling or training or education or something to really kind of further yourself, and that it's something that she would, I'm hearing, maybe not necessarily have approved of when she was here, but that she's still encouraging you to do it. Does that make sense to you?
Somewhat. Or that Tracy takes it to a different level.
Oh, beautiful.
That it starts off with NT level and then goes to a more modern sort of level.
Cool.
I would actually even think that maybe both of them, like her aunt had one profession and she is going into an adjacent or the same sort of profession, or they have that sort of thing about them that is very similar.
Yeah.
Healer.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it. Awesome. Tracy, thank you so much for joining us. Sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. All right. We've got Margaret here. Hi, Margaret. Thanks for joining us. Margaret's saying that she'd appreciate a reading to connect with her maternal grandmother. I'm just going to go like that there.
Did you know her well? I can't have the answer.
It really is a different feeling.
It's a very, very different feeling. Okay, so when I see things about your maternal grandmother, I keep kicking myself. I see a photo album, and you looking through a photo album, it usually means that you knew the person more about stories told about them and pictures that you see, rather than the good, strong relationship sort of thing, and that might have been geography. Also, too, it is me. Something's banging in your house, or something falls over, or something got knocked over, or your cat's been about something, or you woke up about something. She says, it is me.
Could it be noise at night?
Yes.
Yes.
Might even sound like footsteps sometimes. That's not nice. Don't do that, Grandma. That's scary. Oh, you might live in a house that has activity. Or your grandmother's visits may have actually started some activity because she's showing footsteps. And when I see the footsteps, she says, it's not me.
Interesting. So could be surrounded by a lot of people then in the space that she lives in
well,
too?
Sometimes when the dead come to visit us out of love, they forget to close the door behind them. I actually always see it like that. The kitchen doors, they go flip, flap, flip, flap, flip from the 70s and 60s. Yeah, that's what I think has... But... No, she says they were already there, that they greeted her. And actually, I don't know what you're into, young lady. But, well, yeah, I think it might be you. I think actually, because some people are attracted to haunted houses, and they're attracted to haunted houses because there's actually something extrasensory about them that attracts them to these sorts of, like, you may have always lived in houses with activity, or you may actually be inviting activity towards you. Which, stay in the light and be of the light.
And that grandma might not necessarily approve of?
Well, grandma is just trying to protect you. There's no approval or disapproval so much.
Yeah.
Because that's mind stuff, because that would be societal sort of stuff. Because what's approved of in one country might not be approved of in another religion, culture, blah, 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 stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it more goes on ethics and morals and things like that. But you have a good point, apparently. There's a little bit of white glove going on. With the white glove, with the dust.
Yeah.
When people work with stuff like that.
Yeah, cleaning the dust.
Yeah. I'm not saying your house is dusty at all. But yeah. And I actually think you have a yearning to meet her or know her and know who she was and where she comes from and things like that. And she's showing that to me. She will make it easier for you. All you have to do is ask.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah.
Fabulous. I love it.
Actually, she says, Grandma, show me the way.
Beautiful.
That's a bit much.
Beautiful. No,
Yeah, no? Okay.
I think that sounds great.
Great.
And if Margaret was looking to connect with, like, because one of the things that you had said is, are you maybe inviting somebody or an experience in? So is Grandma saying if that's part of what you're doing, if it is in a place of light, would she help and support with that?
She's protecting you. And she's trying to get rid of it, but at the same time, you sometimes need help. You actually might need some salt lamps in your house.
Nice.
Because you might have a very, very active house. And I think you have a kid. I actually think your kid's part of the problem. Because kids are. I was. I remember my mom and my sister phoning me because they were trying to use a Ouija board. They're like, throw some of your mojo. Can't do that, especially for a Ouija board. But anyway, I hope that helped, Margaret.
Awesome, Margaret. It's always a pleasure connecting with you. Thank you so much for popping on this evening. We're sending big hugs, lots of love, and support your way. Awesome. All right, we've got Marissa here. Hi, Marissa. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Marissa.
Marissa's asking for a message from her grandmother, Martha.
I actually even hear, you already got one. That's what I hear. You don't need me. I'm actually hearing that. You don't need her. That's so funny. You get great messages and you pay attention even more. I'm being told at the little things. You're getting the tilted pictures.
Mm-hmm.
They love it. I don't know if they actually tilt the pictures or they go by so fast that the pictures tilt. I don't know what they do, but my dad actually pulls one out of a frame sometimes and flops it to the ground.
Really?
Yes. And the kids all say, "Stop it, Grandpa."
It's like a calling card.
Yes. And that's okay. Now, also, I don't know if your Grandma Martha was an organizer or the matriarch of your family when she was here on the planet, but she's showing herself organizing and being in charge of everyone up there. And I actually even hear, "You know how I do." And I'm not quite sure that she means it in the bad punctuation, "You know how I do." I don't think she means it like that. I think I'm just hearing it as "you know how I do," because when they talk, it's like, blah, 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 blah. And then they show me a picture. And they blah, 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 and then they show me a picture. So that's how I receive it. So the way that she, there's a little dog. I don't know if it's her little dog or your little dog, but the dogs are like, and I don't know if your dog is reacting and that is her way of saying, "Hey, I'm here." The dog is reacting to me. Or if, I keep looking at you. Yeah. Or if the dog is actually up there with her. She shows it as a little dog. So very, very, very often I'll see a little dog and it's actually a big dog.
Interesting.
Yeah, I have this theory that little dogs are big dogs put into little dog outfits. And little dogs are big dogs. That's why little dogs are like, "Don't mess with me, I'm a thing." And they don't know that they're not.
That's right.
They are a big energy.
Dog,
and when I see them on the other side, they could have been a Yorkshire Terrier, but I'm seeing a Rottweiler because that's what the personality was.
Right.
So this one looks like a Yorkshire Terrier. That's why I said Yorkshire Terrier. I don't know. I keep looking at you.
Okay.
It's because I want to look at a person. I don't want to look at me. I see me a lot.
You can look at me on the screen.
I am. I'm looking at you right there. So pretty you are. And also, on your bedside table, please put a piece of paper and a pen. And also, too, your Grandma Martha is talking about your spirit guides and about you meeting your spirit guides. And I don't know if you go through depressions. That's not something you want everyone hearing. I'm sorry. But there might actually be something more happening with you. And they want you to explore it. When I do this, it's more like within your heart chakra. So, and when people have abilities and they don't really realize the abilities, they got to open the heart for it. Because they'll pop up through here and you get all that pancreas and stomach and intestinal crap that happens with your guts because you're not feeling your true power. And I actually kind of think that might be going on a little bit with Marissa.
Yeah, so lots of opening that's happening with Marissa.
Yes. And it could be she wants you to open so she can hear you more or you can hear her more. But I think it might be that because when people die, they can see which ones of us are psychic. We look like little flashlights. So I actually can see that your flashlight's like this big and it needs to be that big.
Nice.
Open your crown.
Beautiful. And the heart.
And the heart. Well, you gotta start here.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta start at the root or else you're just,
otherwise you're all over
you're a mess if you don't root.
Awesome.
I think I didn't at all. Eh?
I'm so glad that you joined us this evening, Marissa. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Marissa. I hope that I helped.
We're sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. I personally think you're rocking it this evening, Bobbi.
Well, thank you.
This is, I don't know if you're watching, this is really a big, it really pushes you outside of your comfort zone in a really big way. So, you know, Bobbi's been totally rocking it this evening. So, whoops. I don't know how it happened, but I just jumped over a pile of messages. I had, where are we? I had Nicole.
Oh, yeah, just did that. Yeah, Nicole.
Yeah, and it's just kind of jumped. So Nicole was asking about a coworker. I'll just quickly pop on with that one, and then we will see where we are. So we've jumped kind of all over the place. So Nicole was asking about a coworker, and to see what they felt about her. Maddie was the name, and she said that it was a boy in brackets. So Nicole, when I ask about this coworker, I get some mixed feelings. I get like a pull in and then a push out, and like a pull in and a push out. So I kind of wonder if this person might be a little bit hot and cold or off and on. And it feels like when I connect with him, he's showing me he's kind of a little all over the place himself. So this doesn't feel like this necessarily has anything to do with you, but it does feel like he's possibly being triggered by something in the way that you're doing things. It's not feeling like a bad thing. I mean, I'm not seeing you having to change anything about yourself because of what's happening for him. But I am seeing him wanting to get to know you better. And I can't tell if there's any sort of like romantic connection that's coming up with that, but that's what he's showing me, is that this is an interesting person. I have this push pull back and forth. I'm not fully and completely comfortable, but I do think I want to get to know her, but I also don't want to get to know her. So I've got a lot of murkiness. I'm not getting anything that's coming up that's feeling malicious in any way, but there is definitely some interest to get to know you better as a person. And so if the opportunity does come up to connect outside of work, then I would encourage that. I want to throw it over to you, Bobbi. What do you think? Do you want to?
Well, I didn't really read the question, but the only thing I can keep seeing is you have a bad taste in your mouth. That's actually going to keep seeing. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth. What a strange thing. But it to me, it either could be, well, you gotta get it out, you gotta say some stuff, but usually I'd see this.
That's where I get to
the throat chakra a little bit, and it'd be all blue and stuff. Yeah. So the bad taste in your mouth, to me, if something leaves a bad taste in my mouth, it's offensive. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Is that
there's something not quite right with me.
Yeah. You might actually want to put a little bubble around yourself.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah. Always put like a pink bubble of protection.
Because there is definitely like this back and forth feeling. Like there are some times that it's okay, and then other times where it's like, where did that come from? What's going on? What's happening? So yeah, I would agree with that too. Protect yourself as well. Yeah. But, let's just take a look. I'm going to pull a card and just see we're going to pull two cards apparently, because that's fun. So the first card that we have here, this is the Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle card deck. We have the contemplation card, or contemplation time. The message here is spend time alone, meditating upon what you truly desire. I'm picking up more from the workplace with this as opposed to like romantic relationship connection. So focus on what it is that you're wanting out of your working situation. As I said, it felt like there was something kind of funny that was coming up with the person that you've asked about. So, if there's something that's happening in your work environment that isn't feeling comfortable for you, then focus on what you do want your work situation to be like, so that either the existing situation will improve or another opportunity will open. And then the second card that popped up, whoops, I can't see how, there we go. There we go. Is the consultant expert card. More information is needed. Yeah, right. That was you. More information is needed. Connect with contact someone with expertise in this area. So again, I actually kind of go into more about the working environment as opposed to the person. That there's something in your work environment that's needing to shift. So this might be a good time to contact human resources. It might be a good time to talk to a career counselor even. But that there's something more from the work situation that's needing to be addressed.
Yeah, I actually hear the word mediator.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I can see that as well. So awesome. Nicole, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure connecting with you.
I am such a geek.
Sending big hugs, lots of love, and support your way. All right. So again, I don't know what happened with our comments here. They've gotten all jumbled up. We were going kind of in order, but this is where we are. Let me see. see. So we've got Fern here. Let's check in with Fern. So Fern's asking, will my son and I invest in a home together? So I've just kind of put it up on the screen.
Okie dokie. Oh,
do you want to join me in this reading?
You can go first and I can pop in if you want.
Okay, that sounds good. All right. So Fern, first of all, when I tap in and see what's going on with you and your son, I'm hearing a yes, but not yet. So it does feel like this is something that the two of you can look at together in the future. But it feels like now isn't quite the right time just yet. It feels like something is needing to be built up and established first. And this feels like this has to do with your son. I can't tell if this is something from a financial perspective or if this is from the perspective of having a bit of space, because he's showing me that space is really important to him, and that it feels like potentially this would be a situation where possibly only one of you is living in the space, because it does feel like one of you will be living in it, but he's showing me that he's, happy to connect, but also is wanting space as well. So there's kind of like this dance that's happening.
That yeah, 2 houses on 1 piece of land, something like that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And it's actually, I see her needing space. Isn't that hilarious?
Well, that would be a really nice turnaround, wouldn't it?
It would. Yeah, big house, little house.
Yeah,
yeah.
Anything else coming up for you?
Yeah, it's good security, and they show me. I don't know if your son already has a wife, but I see another woman being a part of this. They actually say good idea, bad idea. Mm-hmm. So, and when they do, like, you guys got to write everything down. Yeah. Even though he's your son, and actually, especially because he's your son. Yeah. Because who do we take advantage of more? Our family. Yeah. Yes. We know because families don't talk enough. They don't say things. They just get resentful and silly. I don't mean that. I don't mean that you guys are going to get resentful, but they say lay everything out, because they tell me too, your son's a good businessman.
Yeah. Contract.
Yeah. They say invest in him.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. That's what
I love that.
Yeah. And then you can travel.
Get out and do your own thing. Yeah, absolutely. So I pulled a couple of cards for you, Fern, just to see what was coming up. We're connecting with the Archangel Oracle card deck. Sorry, my mind was blanking. You would think my mind would be sharp tonight because Bobbi's been doing the work, but apparently not.
No, I was sucking the brain right out of her.
So the first card that we have here is the Clear Cognizance card. This is Archangel Uriel. His message is to pay attention to the thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. So Clear Cognizance is one of the 4 primary ways that we receive intuitive messages and information. And when this card comes up, it's saying that there's a lot that's happening on a clear cognizant level for you. Even the idea, is this something that we should do together, could be the answer to something that you've been wondering about, trying to figure out, how do I move forward with this? How do I do what's best for me and for my son, and to put us both in a really good place. So it feels like this is definitely one of the options, but I am seeing that there are other options that are going to be available to you that will help to fulfill this same need. And then the last card that I pulled, or that came out, 2 came out together, is the Nurture card. And this is Archangel Gabrielle. Her message is, as you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. And I find this really interesting from a couple of different perspectives. One, to make sure that you aren't over nurturing in this situation. And again, to me, that kind of mirrors the message of space that was coming up, that, if we are going to be living this close together, I need to have my space and my freedom, and to how that parent-child relationship shifts as your son becomes an adult. But Archangel Gabrielle is also the angel of communication. And so I kind of
becoming Christ.
Yeah, that's right. And so, I definitely agree with Bobbi that if you guys do decide to pursue this, make sure that you have some sort of understanding or contract in place beforehand. If things don't work the way that we want them to, how are we going to separate and pull apart so that our relationship remains, because that's important. How are we going to function within the space and on the property, and how are we going to address things as they come up, because some of the most challenging communication that we have is with our family members, because it is such established communication patterns. And this is true, like the things for parent and child, the patterns that were established when the person, the child was a child, tends to carry through. And so even though with nobody else they would have this type of communication style, with you they do, because it's what's established and it's a well-worn pathway. So make sure you guys talk about that before you really jump into things together.
I would agree. The only thing I would add, and that's only with the card as well, what comes up as a parent, is I have fixed my childhood by fixing my children's. Nice. And that's what I'm seeing, that you helping your son out like this and him helping you was something that would have been so lovely to have for you. So it's wonderful that you have for him.
That's beautiful.
That's something that I actually kind of care.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. Awesome. Fern, I'm so grateful that you joined us this evening. Thank you for popping on. Sending big hugs, lots of love and support to you and your son. Okay. Oh, we've got Sarah here. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Sarah.
So Sarah's saying, common after near-death experiences to hear or see spirits. Are you following the question?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm going to let you take it over then.
Is it common after near-death experiences? Yes. I actually know someone, someone who didn't have a near-death experience. She had a horrific tragedy. She had 2 of them, and it resulted in her psychic abilities.
Interesting.
Yeah, an angel came to the end of her bed and said, "We've taken from you, now we shall give."
Wow, that is powerful. Beautiful, isn't it?
So, yes. And I know Sarah.
Okay, yes.
And I know that Sarah's talents have been opened up through things that have happened physically. And yes, because it can open things up for you as well. Whatever happens to the husk happens to the soul and can actually open things up, because even when we have blockages in I have lumps. We have blockages, and that is actually the energy trying to move through us, and they can become physical. I am a humongous testament to that.
Well, and now that you mention it, that was definitely one of the ways that things opened up for me as well. I was in a very bad car accident when I was 17 years old, but I heard this voice. It was the first time I'd ever heard a voice, and it said to pay attention, to be careful. And if I hadn't listened to that, instead of being hit by a very, very tiny car, I would have been hit by a bus instead. And so that was one of my first experiences that was really, like, you've got to pay attention to this, you got to listen to this. So yeah, absolutely. Now that you're putting it together like that, I'm like, yeah, that was definitely an experience that I had as well.
Yeah. I actually hear in my head one of those holy fuck moments.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if you swear.
I try not to on the show, but you know what?
When they tell me to swear, that's why I whisper. It's me.
It's a special show with Bobbi. So I will bleep you next time.
Just have like a
that's right. I feel like there's something. Oh yeah, it's kind of like clearing out the earwax. Sorry, sometimes I get really gross analogies.
Yeah, I get you.
But that's what I'm hearing, is that near-death experience kind of helps to clear out the earwax, to clear that pathway. And it's like, yep, all right, now what are we going to do? And I see with that as well, like here's this really beautiful opportunity. Now you've got this openness, this connection. What are we going to do with it? Because we know like what's happened, and then
it can actually leave room for a lot of other things that you don't want, like sadness and depression.
Yeah,
because you know more than you knew before, but you don't have anything else to fill it. So now you feel like there's a void.
But you know what I find is really interesting with that is it's like with one hand they've given, and then the other hand there's the opportunity to take away, because in addition to feeling more, you now have the capacity to feel more, to connect more.
So much more.
Right?
Yes.
Because when I look at anxiety and depression, and when I see that, I mean, sometimes there's stuff that's going on with heart, and that makes a lot of sense. But often what I see is that there's a disconnection that's happening with the crown chakra, that we're not connecting with God, source, universe, the energy that is life, that we all are. And there's kind of like a block, like a board over the crown chakra. So yes, that's been open to experience more of the pain, but it's also open to experience more of the pleasure and the comfort and the compassion. So, really stepping into that and allows more growth too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Is actually all I hear about is Buddhism in my head.
Yeah.
That pain and strife is part of life, and that is part of the struggle here.
Well, I think that's part of the reason that we're here.
Oh, I think 110%.
You know, because I truly believe that we are spirits having a physical experience to help learn and to grow. And because if we weren't here, everything would be light and fluffy. Like this is where we learn and grow. This is
where we struggle and we go to school and we educate.
Exactly. This is our school.
You got to do it right to go to school again on the other side. Right. Because that's what I see. With angels standing there going.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for joining us. A pleasure connecting with you, and sending big hugs. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, you'll have to share some stuff with us. Sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. So now we've got a couple of people who haven't asked specific questions. So can I put it over to you where we're going next?
Sure. Okay. So I go.
You get to choose.
Okie dokie. I've had like the same things in front of me. I haven't moved my things.
Oh, you haven't moved your things? Okay. All right.
Oh gosh, look at all.
Okay. Well, where are you going? What are you picking out?
Now, okay. Mary Lynn, of course he will. Sorry, I gotta answer that quickly. Of course he will.
Should we tap in a little bit more?
No, Mary Lynn, I've known for 30 years.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes.
All right. Okay. Well,
he will. But you get at her. Get Mary Lynn.
I haven't known Mary Lynn for 30 years. Let's see what's coming up for you. So let's check in with Jordan. So. Okay, so first of all, what I'm seeing is one foot in front of the other. It feels like there's a lot of growth, a lot of progress, and I also feel like my head is down. And so to me, it feels like there's a lot of energy that he's putting into something, but it also feels like he's got blinders on. Like he's in some way, I don't know if this is intentionally not paying attention or noticing what's happening around him, but that there is something that he's got like these blinders on and he's not seeing. He is focused on something, and it feels like that focus is warranted 90% of the time, but that there's something else. Like I'm really wanting to encourage him to have some fun.
Yes, perfection.
Okay, thank you.
Here's the word perfection. And I always say that because his mother likes perfection. I love you.
Yeah, so I didn't say that. That was all Bobbi.
That was.
So yeah, that he is really hyper focused, and that relationship, love, partnership is going to come in when he allows himself to let his hair down, where he isn't so focused on what's coming up next, and that he's able to just relax and enjoy himself. So that's the big message that I'm getting for Jordan. And we're gonna I feel like action step is required here. So we're going to go to the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins cards, because the Mermaids and Dolphins are all about action steps. Like, how do we move forward? What are we doing next? And they're also amazing manifestors as well. So they really work closely with the energy and the vibration on Earth.
I didn't know that.
This is our card. Yes. This is our card. Yes. Bobbi's answer was all that was required. Your intuition is correct. Take action accordingly. So I'm gonna steal some of Bobbi's thunder, and I'm gonna say that was confirmation for all of the messages that we just gave to.
It was because everything you said made perfect sense. And actually, Jordan, I don't know as well.
Right.
I knew him when he was inside of her.
Right.
Yes, I used to go, "Hi, baby," at him.
Well, no wonder he's paying attention to where he walks. He's terrified. That's what she says too. My gosh, the drama. Jordan, I'm sorry for what this one imposed upon you. Right. Thank you, Mary Lynn, so much for joining us this evening. Oh, you're going to have to remove it.
I have to remove it?
Yeah.
I have to remove Mary Lynn.
Yeah,
what do I do?
Hold on.
What did I do?
Hold on. Just, press that one.
Okay.
And then, uh-oh. Oh, I lost me out.
Oh, who did? Who lost Erin?
Who lost Erin? Hold on. Is my camera on? Hold on. You do it. Because my mic is the one that's recording. You just wave at people and let them know they're still here.
Waving. With just technical difficulties. 1 second, please. I'm sorry.
How do I get back?
I don't know.
I don't know. Hold on, I'm gonna unmute your mic.
Okay, unmute my mic.
All right.
We had some technical difficulties and we've lost our Erin. Why don't we just turn it?
Yeah, sure. Oh, you know why we had so much problem? Oh, no, never
There
mind.
we go.
Okay,
See, now we're so close.
we're both here.
Yes.
It's not
We just could. I'm never going to. It's not that kind of stream.
it's not that kind of show tonight, guys.
Tonight.
All right. Come back next week. Okay, well, I don't see how I can get myself back on, so we are just gonna go with Bobbi. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, so let me see. Oh, sorry, we're going here to Paula. So, Paula, thank you so much for joining us. My apologies for the technical difficulties. So, Paula has lost 3 sisters.
Paula, the first thing I hear, and this is what I hear when it's a crowd, hail, hail, the gang's all here. And they're locking arms and they're talking about you. That's what they say because they're all there. Is your mother with them? Because there's a 4th and there's a man too that's behind them. And actually, one of the things that they're saying is, and I know it's not feeling left out, but there's a left out feeling within you, but also an inclusion feeling. I'm not sure if your sisters all passed with something similar and that you're nervous about that or that there's some sort of link in there, but they actually even tell me you have, there's survivor guilt, that there's something about you still being here and them being there or something, and I hear that is ludicrous. I also don't know if you are actually having trouble focusing on things and feeling very tense or anxious or something. It actually might be your second sister, or I don't know if you're the second sister, but they always they'll rank themselves. Like I would be 3, my sister Lena would be 2, my sister Sherry would be 1 because that's the birth order. That's the way that they do it, and they'll even like do that with boys and girls. Anywho, I'm supposed to tell you you're not alone. I'm not sure if you feel alone, and I really, really, really hope that you do not feel alone. The way it makes it look, either you have a son or maybe your husband's young, something like that, or younger, but you have support system and you have people with you and you have them with you, and something happened at Christmas. I don't know if something happened at Christmas or something's going to happen at Christmas, but they're showing me your Christmas tree. And they may have done something, or there may be ornaments that you have that are all of them, or you may have had a big ornament that's them, or put their picture in the tree, something, but they want to commemorate the tree. And like there's so many kisses. They're not all kisses though, because they're sisters. So there's kisses and there's kisses and things. And I don't know if you've ever woken up because you felt like somebody was picking your nose, but actually I'm doing that, which is crazy. But something's happening when you're sleeping too. They're showing, they're showing for a while there when I don't know what was going on in the world, but I was getting a ton of visits at night, and my dog actually jumped on me a couple of times, and they're showing me that. So your animal or your pet may actually be showing you that something else is happening around you. I hope that helps.
I love it. Oh, good, beautiful. Okay. Yeah, awesome. And that was Paula. Paula, thank you,
Paula,
so much for joining us. It was a pleasure connecting.
Moon is such a cool last name.
It really is, isn't
Gosh,
it?
that's a cool last name.
So thank you for joining us. We're sending big hugs, lots of love and support to you, and lots of feels coming up as well with the loss of your sister.
Yeah. Left out.
Yeah,
that's what I feel. Left out.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, that's a pretty. You're okay if you want to.
Yeah, for right now.
Now. But then again, they're having I don't want to add to the. Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, to me, it kind of reminds me of being like a little kid and having to go to bed while everybody else gets to stay up, and you're like, wow, that's so amazing and so magical, and I have to go to bed. And then you get to be an adult, and you're like, man, what I most want to do right now is go to bed early. How I wish I could be a kid, right? So that's kind of what that feeling reminds me of, is like, there's something else that's going on there. You don't necessarily want to be doing what you need to be doing, but you need to do it. And then when you get there, you're like, oh yeah, this was what it was.
Yeah, and there's a reason why you're still here.
Yeah,
because it's like it goes into my head that I'd love to be on the other side. But my kids don't want me there, so I'm not going.
Yeah.
Because I have poop to do.
You've got to hang out.
Grandkids to meet.
That's right.
That's to get some grandkids. This is why they don't let me out.
All right. Oh, okay. We've got, and I always pronounce your name incorrectly. We have Divya. I want to say Divya, but it's Divya. We have Divya here.
That's a great name.
And Divya's here, and she's wanting to connect with her mom. It's kind of come through over 3 different messages. I really want to know if there's any message from my mom. Why is mom coming through to talk to me? So,
because she loves you.
Yeah.
That's immediate. And there's something, I don't know if you just had a baby or something. She's showing me a baby at a change table.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be that you're her baby and you are changing and she is here during your transition, because I actually even see you as a frog. But it could even be that having a baby is the transition that you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not about me. It's about you. That's actually what I hear in my head. She's coming in as a show of support. She's coming in to be around you.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's something going on. And she is coming in to tell you everything's going to be okay. She's actually even laughing at you a little bit. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's more that, oh God, it's so frustrating when people laugh at you when you're upset.
Right?
So frustrating.
Yep.
When you're looking for something, you can't find it, and they're like, you're freaking out.
So when you say that, my mom pops in, because if I'm overreacting to something, she laughs at me.
Your mom's adorable.
I know. My mom is 5 foot nothing. She's almost half a foot shorter than I am. I say almost because she might at some point watch this, and I don't want to get in trouble.
She's even shorter than me.
Yeah, I know. She's really small. She's pocket size. But if I'm in a place where I'm stressing about something, or if she thinks I'm overreacting to something, she just starts laughing at me. Could that be part of what's going on here?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And it could actually be that she is communicating with you, but you're not quite seeing it, and then she's laughing at the result of it. Because I know they don't take yourself too seriously. That's what I'm being told. And also, too, I'm hearing take a look at yourself in the mirror sometimes. I'm not sure what it is. And it might be, she shows you, like, you look in the mirror and you think that there's like a glaring thing on your face, and you go, oh, like, that wasn't so bad. I'm not quite sure what she means, because that feels weird. I don't feel like it lands.
When you say that, part of what I'm seeing is like to see yourself in the mirror as you are. Like when I get messages like that, it's usually that they're wanting you to see yourself the way that they saw you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Let everyone see your pretty face.
Yeah.
So my mom used to say, oh my, everyone see your pretty face.
Yeah. That she's wanting you to see you as she sees you. And to see that when you look at yourself in the mirror.
It's something about what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Too. It's a now sort of thing. It's support. It's love.
Yeah. Love and support.
And it's not so bad as you think.
Mm-hmm.
There's that too.
Mm-hmm. And when you say that, I'm seeing feet walking, like walking forward, that there's something that you're walking to, but also away from. Does that make sense for you?
Yes. And we can blow things out of proportion in our own brains.
Yeah. It can feel bigger than it is.
And then we actually make it bigger and we add to it, because we start moving into that energy. Yeah. Loss of control.
Yeah.
Good gosh, she could just keep going this morning.
Yeah. She's got a lot to say.
She does have a lot to say.
Yeah.
She's really nice energy though.
Yeah.
Really like,
yeah.
Easy peasy energy. I don't know if she was easy peasy when she was there, but she's trying to show me easy peasy now. So that could be part of it too. That she's like, let it go. I have that sort of idea, unless she was always like that. Yeah. All right. I hope that helps.
Love. Awesome.
She gave you a groovy name.
I always love Divya's name.
Yes.
I always mispronounce
Beats the crap out of Bobbi.
Divya, I'm so grateful that you joined us.
Thank you, Divya.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support to you and to your mom. All right, Bobbi, I want to check in with you. We've actually gone overtime tonight.
I thought that we usually have.
Yeah. So, I want to thank everybody so much for joining us this evening and for your patience as we were working out the technical difficulties and trying to figure out like our flow with connecting back and forth and how does this work. So, thank you for your patience. I'm going to put Bobbi on the spot. Are we going to do this again?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to do this again.
We'll do it again.
Absolutely. Because if we didn't get to you this week, we can get to you another day or something like that.
Absolutely.
So I'm completely kiboshed upon Erin's thing.
Sorry. We will
do it again.
We're going to figure it out and we will have a different setup next time that's going to work better. It's going to be more cohesive connecting. So I didn't do too much this evening. This was really on Bobbi, which I'm so grateful to, one, have a bit of a break, and two, to have had fun connecting with Bobbi. So Bobbi, if people want to connect with you for their own personal reading, what's the best way to do that?
The best way to do that is it's probably easiest to message me on Facebook. Here at the Spiritual Medium, Bobbi Rowntree Spiritual Medium Facebook page.
Yeah.
Because if you message me on Instagram, it goes right to that anyways. And it's there's so many messages that I get so behind, and I do apologize for that. But because I've got too many platforms, so Facebook is usually the easiest and quickest. But there's
So
let's do that.
Hop over and like Bobbi Rowntree Spiritualist Medium.
Bobbi Rowntree Spiritual Medium.
Awesome. Pop over and like her page to connect with her. Bobbi also does lots of amazing video posts, like amazing video posts talking about messages from the other side, talking about being a medium. Lots and lots.
YouTube channel.
And follow her on YouTube.
Born Medium.
Excellent.
On YouTube.
Awesome.
And there was somebody who, Cameron.
Yeah?
You want to message me? Go ahead.
Okay. Cameron, if you want to message Bobbi, you go ahead.
With a K. Like Cameron Michaels, the drag queen, actually. I think it was K. It started with a K. I saw it, it popped in my head, and now it's in my head.
Gone.
And now it's gone. But I just, I think, and I also think that is a private thing.
Lovely. Awesome. And if you'd like to book a reading with me, you can do so at bookingwitherin.com. I have all of the appointment types and all of my availability. And we should be back next week. I'll be back next week anyway for Tune In and Tune Up Thursday right here on my Facebook page, on my YouTube, Heaven and Messenger YouTube channel. And I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. Thank you so much for popping on. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. And Bobbi, how are we going to end tonight? We're going to do a little...
Well, this is your town.
Well, yeah, I know, but I think that we need to end your way too. Are you ready?
Oh, we're going to namaste.
Yeah, we're going to
Alrighty, baby.
Awesome.
All right, thank you so very much. Namaste.
Do I end?